Hello, Jacob here. There's been a recent challenge that has been posted by various NFL fans out there, and I thought I'd go ahead and throw my hat to the ring since, well, there really aren't too many Vikings video makers anymore. So, the challenge is basically name 2 excruciating losses and 1 really great moment. Well, obviously, at least in my lifetime, the 2 most excruciating losses was the 1998 NFC Championship game and the 2009 NFC Championship game. Now, the 98 NFC Championship game, the Vikings were hot. I mean hot. Their offense was breaking records left and right. I mean, think about it. We had Randall Cunningham, we had Brad Johnson as our quarterbacks, slinging the ball to Hall of Fame Chris Carter, future Hall of Fame Randy Moss, a really good third receiver in Jake Reed. I mean, we had offensive linemen that were really solid. Todd Stussy, Randall McDaniel, who was a Hall of Famer, as well as rest in peace Corey Stringer. And we also had a really good running game in Robert Smith, who was really the lead horseman. And also, our defense was, our defense was good. I mean, obviously we had Hall of Fame John Randall, who was a beast. But, I mean, as far as, we also had defensive ends like Derek Alexander, Jerry Ball, Dixon Edwards, Ed McDaniel. I mean, we had decent defensive players. I mean, they weren't great when you got out of like John Randall, but I mean, we had solid defense. We had a kicker in Gary Anderson who hadn't missed a field goal practically all year. I mean, we were mowing down the line here. We only lost 1 game, and that was to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers down in their house, which we very easily could have won. I mean, then again, when it's a cold weather team going down to a hot weather climate, one case 2014, the Vikings playing the Dolphins. We easily could have won that game, but the problem is we got gassed in the 4th quarter. But anyway, again, we were just mowing over people in the 98 season with a 15-1 record. I think we were the number 1 seed in the NFC, if I remember right. We were either 1 or 2, but I'm pretty sure we were the 1 seed. And then, we were the first team to beat the Packers in Lambeau Field in I don't know how many tries. And then we get all the way to the NFC Championship game against the Falcons. And again, the Falcons had a pretty decent team. I mean, they had a decent quarterback in Chandler. They had a decent running back. I mean, a really good running back in Jamal Anderson. They had, decent offensive weapons. They had a really decent defense, too. I mean, granted, it was the only year they really actually had a defense, because in '99 they... But anyway. Yeah, and we get into the big game. We're leading most of it. We just need 1 field goal to basically ice the thing. And Gary Anderson misses, and they go down the field and score the winning field goal. So yeah, that's the first excruciating loss. The second excruciating loss was the 2009 NFC Championship game, where that one still stings. Because in 2009, I mean, Favre came in with Peterson. I mean, we had Sidney Rice was our featured receiver. Our defensive line, we had Jared Allen, Ray Edwards, the Williams Wall. I mean, we had good linebackers in Chad Greenway, Ben Lieber. Our safeties, I mean, they were good. They weren't great. And we also had a really good corner in Antoine Winfield. So, I mean, our team was pretty good up and down the whole roster. I mean, we ended up running to a 3-0 start. We ended up coasting to, I think, I want to say 11-5 or 12-4. Here, give me a sec here. But yeah, I believe we were 12-4, if I remember right. We were... Yeah, we were one of those two. I can't quite remember. And I couldn't find it, so... All I know was we were second in the NFC, only behind the New Orleans Saints. Yeah, we were down there, and we were getting fucking harassed. I mean, it was not good. There were calls that should have been called, but we were in it. Peterson had a few fumbles that hurt, Sidney Rice had, I think, a few catches. I can't remember exactly how many he had. Harvin, things were going okay. But again, when you're down in anyone's house, it's always difficult. But still, though, the fact that Favre was getting harassed, and harassed, and harassed, and then he threw basically the game-sealing interception. And again, we could have given the Colts a run for their money. So yeah, to this day, I still can't watch those two NFC Championship games. But anyway, now to the shining moment. And there are quite a few of them. So, obviously, probably for me, for the greatest comeback, would have been the 2009 game against the San Francisco 49ers, where Favre threw that last-second Hail Mary touchdown to Greg Lewis. Oh man, that was still amazing, just how I managed to tiptoe in the back and win the game for us. And then, obviously, beating the Packers in Lambeau Field is always a good feeling. 98, we actually took them out, off of a home winning streak. And all that stuff, so, yeah, there's plenty to be proud of. But I'd have to say probably the proudest moment was watching Adrian Peterson break the single-game record in 2007 against another Hall of Fame running back in LaDainian Tomlinson and the Chargers. Which is kind of funny considering that Norv Turner's now our offensive coordinator and he was the head coach at the time. But anyway. So yeah, I would have to say that's probably the greatest moment. And all I can say is the Vikings this year are looking just as potent as the 2012, 2009. I won't quite go as far as saying 98, but definitely close to the 09. So yeah, it's going to be interesting this year to see how we do. So yeah, well, this video has run on long enough, so I just thought I'd quick jump in and give you my opinion on how I think the Vikings, their most excruciating losses, great moments and all that stuff. So, till we meet again, this is Jacob signing out. Have a good day.